In less than 2 weeks, people across the Upper Peninsula could see their electric bills skyrocket. A quirk in an old law lets mines choose which power company to use.
In 2013, the Presque Isle power plant in Marquette lost a major mine account. To stay open, customers may have to make up the difference. In this special report, 9 and 10's Alyssa Gambla found out more about this power struggle in the UP.
What's happened is that the Presque Isle power plant was proposed for retirement by Wisconsin Electric because they were serving the iron ore mines. Wisconsin Electric said, well, if we're not serving that big load, we can retire this power plant. So they were going to close the power plant, but the people who run the electric grid, a group called MISO, said you can't close that power plant because if you do, the grid won't work, and so it needs to stay on. And Wisconsin Electric said, well, if you pay us $52 million a year, which we'd have saved by having a retirement of that plant, we'll keep it open.
To keep this plant open in Marquette, the Upper Peninsula could have to dish out millions of dollars. The plant needs to stay open for the electric grid in Michigan and Wisconsin. But for people in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, they won't actually be benefiting.
You have to maintain a reliable electric system, and if the Presque Isle power plant were taken offline or retired, the lights could go out in the UP, and the people that are running the system cannot have that. And so they're saying that plant has to stay running, it has to be paid for, and FERC has said the UP is going to pay for it all. We think that's terribly unfair.
This decision by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC, will go into effect December 1st. Cloverland Electric has been working hard to spread the news to their customers. People in the UP will see their electricity bills skyrocket if it goes through. An average homeowner will see about a $30 increase on their monthly bill, and to businesses, hundreds to thousands.
But we don't want to see this happen to the UP like this at all. It's got implications for a lot of different things, but we need help on this one.
It's a crisis really in the UP, and we're on it, but stakeholders are talking, and there may be a solution that will solve the problem, but they need a little more time to come up with a solution that meets the concerns of all the stakeholders.
For some of us, I don't want to pay it, but I can afford it, but there's so many that can't. You take a look at $30, $34 every 1,000 kilowatt hours. That's going to be very hard on people.
The superintendent fears those additional costs could potentially mean lights out for important programs at the schools.
For our district, we're looking at an $80,000 increase in the cost of our electricity bill. We think that's unfair. Anytime you have to spend $80,000 that you weren't planning on, that comes out of the classroom. So it could hit the kids in terms of technology purchases that we would buy from the general fund. It could hit the kids in extra science materials or extra math manipulatives. We're concerned that programs such as sports, such as art, such as music will have to be looked at.
And higher costs of living could make the cost of everything go up.
So somebody needs to figure something out here, or else they're going to lose all the money, the tax dollars that this UP pays.
The Visitors Bureau worries people would no longer visit places like Sault Ste. Marie.
You can come up here and not spend a lot of money and really have a good time, but that's going to be different if this goes into effect. I can't even imagine people are not going to be able to afford it. They're just keeping their heads above water.
The possibility that families could leave the area, I think in troublesome financial times, is always there. Certainly throwing in this extra $100 million added bills on top of what everybody else is paying already will not help families. Certainly won't help kids, and it won't help schools.
So now people in the UP, Michigan lawmakers in Washington and Cloverland are trying to push FERC to reconsider their decision, or at least delay these extra electric costs.
Our office has written to the FERC to ask them hold off till we find a long-term solution, because there's no long-term solution to the problem of not enough power in the UP. Well, that doesn't make much sense to the people in the UP, nor does it make much sense to me.
Alyssa Gambla for 9 and 10 News at 6.
Well, Michigan Congressman Benishek and Peters, along with Senator Stabenow, introduced legislation this week hoping to prevent unfair rate increases.